Vox Novus live streams CAMP, the Contemporary Arts Music Festival for Now Music. Newly composed pieces selected from over 220 submissions by composers from around the world. Friday and Saturday, March 14th and 15th. They put out a call for submissions. They got submissions from the USA, Canada, Mexico, China, South Korea, Taiwan, Finland, the UK, Spain, etc., etc., etc. Now, I want to tell you a little bit more about them. The leaders of this festival are Eunmi Ko, a pianist, who's Korean, I believe, and Kevin von Kampen, who's a percussionist. And the focus in this concert is Eastern music and individuals, and expressing themselves in the context of Western culture and the Western musical tradition. CAMPGround, and the festival is called CAMPGround 25, and they're doing it in partnership with a project called the PAN Project, which is a global music project with East Asian traditions. PAN in the PAN in the name PAN Project comes from the Korean word for a place to gather, and they've been around for almost a decade. Now, I want to tell you about 2 or 3 of the pieces they're going to be putting on. Because I was in touch with Robert Voisi, the guy that runs Vox Novus, and I asked him if he could give me some of the highlights, particularly highlights which would appeal both to people who are interested in now music, this very new music, but also those highlights where the instruments being used would most closely resemble what someone who enjoys traditional chamber music can appreciate. So it can be crossover kind of music, because sometimes your contemporary stuff it's electronic music or noise or things like that, and people who are into traditional chamber music can't relate to it. So he gave me some suggestions. I want to tell you about them. They all sound interesting to me in varying degrees. So Friday night, there's a composition by Dorothy Hindman, which she composed called Is and Air. She composed it in 2023 on commission for the marriage of the violinist Sini Virtanen Kabaoğlu and the trumpeter Arda Kabaoglu. This is a world premiere. Now, what she did was she asked each of these performers, the violinist and the trumpeter, to send her some music of them playing their own instrument independently and then playing together. And then she took this music together, and they also sent along 2 Bartók wedding duets. And she digitally analyzed it and to determine the acoustic structures, and then reprocess them to create more complex timbres, is the way she puts it. I'm not a musicologist. I'm not a new music expert. Okay, and then let me tell you, she says she digitally removed the harmonic aspects, the pitch, from the trumpet's opening note, leaving behind only extremely complex and quiet artifacts, which she then transcribed for the violin, and so on and so forth. It goes on from there. So, this is what you can do with new music, and the music is, it's music for trumpet and violin. Now, the Saturday noon concert, there's a piece called 4 Harmonies, Reflections of Monet by Justin Weiss. And the ensemble playing that is a flute, clarinet, violin, percussion, and voice. And Weiss got the idea from it. He was at the Musée d'Orsay in Paris, looking at these paintings that Monet did of the cathedral in Rouen, where he did multiple paintings of the same cathedral, but with different times of day and hues and shadings and all of that. And then he titled them all Harmonies. And so Weiss wanted to do something similar in music by taking a single subject and transforming it based on the way it's treated with different techniques. So the piece is designed to be an approximation of a single subject based on multiple viewpoints angles or perspectives in a musical sense, and including the fact that the voice in this piece does not sing a text, but it's singing sounds to create musical shapes so that it blends with the ensemble. So what you have is a quintet in which one of the instruments is the human voice, but just the sound of the voice. Okay, so that's Saturday during the afternoon. Then Saturday evening, another piece is called Island Eye, and it's by Alex Bertzels. And it's violin, viola, cello, and piano. So it's like a piano quartet. And I don't have a description of it musically, but the subject of it is the relationship between all these social systems we have and the individual. The way that more and more people are just turned into, are known by numbers, which are assigned to huge computerized systems, which then make decisions completely dispassionately concerning their lives that are going to affect them. And it's just, the piece explores how an individual can assert individuality within that kind of societal rigidity. If you're watching this on Facebook, please click the like button, and we'll invite you to follow us. If you watch on YouTube, click subscribe. And if you watch on our other 4 platforms, please don't just like the video, like us, subscribe to or follow Access Arts Live on X, TikTok, Instagram, or Threads.